back with another video, as promised. And this one is just setting up a basic voiceover audition template so you can just load it up, quickly record your audition, export it, no faff, bish, bash, bosh, etc., etc. Done. So if you haven't already, check out my other video on the Pro Tools edit window, so that will get you up to speed with all the controls and everything so that it's not too overwhelming. And then pop back here and we can get started. Oh wait, I've got a cup of coffee here. Oh, you're back. Okay, let's make a new session. Let's go to File, New, and let's call this VO template. Why not? And we are going to make sure that Create from Template is not selected because we're making our own little template here. And for goodness sake, make sure that Local Storage Prompt for Location is selected. Otherwise, it will just save it in some weird document folder and you won't be able to find your session. You'll be like, oh my God. And then File Type, we'll just leave it on WAV. Sample rate, sometimes people ask for 44.1 or 48, so just check that first. But you can always export it at another sample rate when you're done. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Bit depth, you can choose between 16, 24, or 32 float, if that floats your floats. I'll just leave it on 16 usually. So that's all good. Let's just create. And it'll flash up with this little dialog box asking us where we want to save it. I'm going to save it there. And hello, we're home again. So just going to go through a couple of little housekeeping bits. So we're going to go to Setup and Playback Engine just to check that Pro Tools is seeing our audio interface. Because if it's not, you won't be getting any sound. Looks like I'm all good to go here though. Next, you want to check your hardware buffer size. This is basically how much time your computer takes to process the audio data coming in. So the smaller it is, the less latency or delay you'll get when recording. So for recording 128 or 64, if you've got a faster computer, are ideal for recording. And don't worry about all the other stuff, just press OK. Next, just want to check out I/O setup. So let's go to Setup and I/O. And the inputs and outputs of your audio interface should come up here. They're my outputs there. That'll differ on what audio interface you've got, what inputs and outputs you've got. Check your inputs that your mic's coming in. You can double click on any of these names and rename them if you like. I've got two mics plugged into mine. There we go, the 102 and 103 there. And let's go to our bus menu. So buses basically carry audio signals around your session. Like buses, really. And you can see I've made a load already, but yours will probably come up bus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. You can make more buses if you click this new path button here. But I'm just going to rename these mic buses. So this is a stereo bus, but it's got two mono paths within it. And you can create those by clicking on your stereo bus and clicking new subpath here. I'll actually go through this in more detail because I'm doing a video on setting up an audio drama template. So I'll go through it all properly then, I promise. Just one more thing to check. Let's go to Options and just check that delay compensation is ticked. Because we're going to be using some plugins in here, and if we don't have that on, then we might get some latency or some sort of nasty delay, which we don't want. So anyway, shall we make a couple of tracks? So you can either press Shift-Command-N if you're a bit flash, or go up to the track menu there and select New, which is grayed out because I've already got the track dialog thing up. So first we're going to make a mono aux input, which is a track which basically carries your audio signal around your session. And we're going to call this one mic input. Then we're going to click this little plus thing. There we go. And we're going to make an audio track this time. And we're going to call this one mic record. Then we press create. And I'm just going to make these tracks bigger so we can see them better. So if I hover between tracks, you get that little arrow sandwich thing, and you can just drag the track down to make it bigger. Or if you hold down Shift and Option, it will make all your selected tracks bigger. There we go. Right, so we've got our aux input here, the mic input, where our mic signal is going to come into Pro Tools. Then it's going to travel down its little bus and come into our mic record track right here. So let's sort out the routing. So let's click on the input where it says no input. And we get this menu coming up. We go to interface, select our microphone. I'm going for the TLM 103. There it is. Lovely stuff. So let's go and set the output of this now. So let's click on this output thing here. And we're going to go to bus. And do you remember we made that little mic bus thing? So we're going to select mic bus 1. And we want the signal to travel on this little bus into the input of the mic record track. So we're going to set the input of that to, we'll go to bus, and we're going to set that to mic bus 1 as well. And we'll leave the output of that on main output so we can monitor it. So what I'm going to do now is put a little plugin on, just in case you've got a noisy room. You don't have to have this on at all. But if you have a lot of room noise, I think it's a good idea to put one of these on your inserts on your mic input track. And this is why we check the delay compensation option in the menu so that we won't get any nasty delays or latency. So this plugin is made by Isotope and it's a voice denoiser. Comes with RX10, which is a noise reduction package. Can be quite spenny though. I think they're on RX11 at the moment. But they do a budget package, which is called RX Element. I'll put the link in the old description for you. And you shouldn't have to faff around with it because I think the default setting is pretty much good to go. Or if it's sounding a little bit squelchy, just ease off on the old reduction control here. Anyway, on the next insert slot, we're going to put an EQ on. For this little demo, I'm not going to choose anything too flash. I'm just going to choose the Protools stock one, which is EQ3. There it is. And what we're going to do is click this little button here, which is the high pass filter or low cut. Then we're going to grab this little bobble thing here and we're going to drag it to the left. And you can see that dial moving as well. So that curve is going to cut everything from, where are we, 70, 69, 73 hertz. So this is going to get rid of everything under 73.2 hertz. So it's going to get rid of all those low rumbles and pops and horrible things like that. And you might want to adjust it to a slightly higher frequency if you're popping a bit too much. Have a little fiddle. So after your signal hits Pro Tools, it's hitting the voice denoiser, then the EQ, then it's traveling to your mic record track. So as this is a quick audition template, all your processing has been done at this level. So when you record, the file's already been processed and it's ready for export. So let's record something, shall we? Let's arm that track there. Click on the old timeline where I want to start recording. Zoom in a bit. Got quick punch set there. And I'm just going to record our spoof audition. Please, can you give me lots of money for this, which I've just recorded? Thank you so much. Please, can you give me lots of money for this, which I've just recorded? Thank you so much. So I've just done a couple of takes and I've purposely done something horrible in the middle, just so that we can tidy it up a bit. So say your imaginary client has asked for 2 takes of this line for some weird reason. We're definitely going to need to edit it. So let's do it. So I'm just going to hover with my little trim tool, trim that little breath off. There we go. And zoom out a bit. Change to my selector tool by hovering in the top of the track. And then just click after the last word of that take. And then select to the beginning of the next take and bosh that away. Then I'm just going to grab this clip and bring it forward, tighten it up a bit. Then finally just trim the end of that. Then just click on this clip, hold shift down, click on that clip. So both are selected. Then we need to consolidate these into one file. So to do that, you press shift, option and 3. And there we go. Then just double click on it. And then we get this little dialog box here and we can name it Lots of Money for Me. And then as it's ready to go, all we've got to do is export it. Easy. So the key command to export is Shift Command K or Shift Control K if you're on a PC. Then this little menu will pop up here. Then you can select your file type, WAV, MP3 or AIFF if you're in the 80s. And you can select sample rate, bit depth and all that. Choose where it's going to go. Then just press export and then you're rich. Or if you can't remember the key command, you can select the clip in the clip menu, get this little drop-down menu, and then just select Export Clips as Files. And the very last thing we're going to do is save this as a template. So we're going to go to File, Save as Template, and we are going to select the category, Post-Production, as good as any, isn't it? Name it VO Template. Make sure Include Media is unchecked, otherwise you'll get stray bits of media like this audio clip kicking around in your template, and we don't want that, do we? Or you might, I don't know, who knows. Anyway, press OK on that, and then that will save that in your post-production templates, which can be found, I'll show you. Go to Documents folder, and there's a folder called Pro Tools with a space in it, which you'll find there, and they will be in session templates, and you can see it, you'll find it in post-production there. So there we go. There's a quick little voiceover audition template for you. I'll upload this with a handy PDF to my Patreon for you, or you can make your own. If you do use mine, you might have to change your audio interface input, or your main output might be called something different, but don't let that scare you. Okay, so I hope that's helped you. If you found anything remotely confusing, have a look at my edit window video. I'll put a link in the description, so that will help you kind of navigate all the little bits and pieces around the edit window that you might not be familiar with. Okay, so YouTube responsibly, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.